Okay, everybody. So we are going to do congruent right now. Then after that, I'm going to teach similarity. So for congruent, please copy all this down into the notes and then we're going to start. So I give you guys about like 2 minutes to copy all this down. The heading is just called congruent first. So we're going to work on congruent. Then later, we're going to work on similar. Okay. Now, what is congruent? So just remember that congruent means it's the same shape and same size. Means if I have a triangle, the two triangles will be exactly the same. It's like a copy paste. So there's a symbol to represent congruent. Is this Chinese symbol called sun? It's three equal lines together. So when you see that, it means that it's congruent. So let's say your teacher say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. Now, what does that mean? So guys, you need to be very, very careful, okay? So some teacher, I do not know why, they do not allow you to draw out this draft triangle. Okay? So take note, for me, I will draw it out because I want to visualize better. So this draft triangle must be done in pencil. Must be done in pencil and do it at the side working. Understand? That's for you to visualize better. So if let's say, guys, if I have here A, so A matches with who? A matches with X means for the next triangle, my X must be at the same position with A. Understand? Next, what alphabet do I have? B, right? So if I place B here, means B must match with who? B must match with Y. That means that here, Y must be in the same position as B. And lastly, I have alphabet C. So it means that C must match with Z. So C and Z must be at the same position. So when they say that corresponding angle are the same, what they meant is they're trying to tell you that this angle is the same as this angle. This angle right here is the same as this angle. And this angle right here is the same as this angle. So that is what they meant by corresponding angle is the same. Now, the next one. They say corresponding side is the same. So what does that mean? So guys, look up. It means that here is the same as here. This squiggle wiggle one is the same as this squiggle wiggle one. And the last one is this one here is the same as this one here. So that's what they meant by corresponding sides are the same. Means the length is the same. And the area is also the same. Okay, so once you're done with color coding, we'll move on to the different tests, okay? So please take note, a lot of students make a mistake. They say that it's property. So in exam, your teacher is very particular. You cannot say using SSS property. You must say that it is a test, okay? It's a SSS test or a SAS test. So for me, my two favorite tests that I like to use is SSS and SAS. Why? Because I can use it for both congruent and similarity. Clear? There are some tests that you can only use for congruent. So what does that mean? It means that this test here is only for congruent. You cannot use for similarity. So you can only use for congruent. You cannot use for similarity. Now, what is the SSS test? SSS means that This side must match with this side. This side must match with this side. And this side must match with this side. That is what SSS means. Now, what about SAS? You need to be very careful with SAS because SAS have an order. I repeat again, SAS have an order. It means that who must come first? The side. You see, so this one side. And then next is the angle. So can you see that the angle is in between the two sides? So if I choose this as the angle, means the next side I choose must be beside the angle. Can you see that? So guys, if let's say I have one side here, and one angle here. Can I use this as SAS? Yes or no? No, because if you look at it carefully, this is a side, followed by a side, followed by a angle. This is a SSA. Okay? So we don't have such thing. SAS means the angle must be in between the two sides. Now, what about ASA? ASA means it will look something like that. I have one side, and then I'll have two angles that is beside the side. Then what about AAS? AAS will look something like that. I have one angle here, but now my side will be here. So this is AAS. And lastly, what is my SAA? Means this is my side, and this is my angle, and this is my angle. So this is a SAA. Now, lastly, this one is a very, very special case, the RHS one. RHS is only used for congruent is when you see keywords like right angle. Okay, when you see keywords like right angle, and then when you see things like hypotenuse, you all know, right? Hypotenuse is where? Where is hypotenuse located? Longer side, and the longer side is always where? The longer side is always opposite the right angle. So we have the right angle, we have the hypotenuse, and then we have one side. Any side one. But if you, the moment you see that the question gives you a right angle and the question gives you a hypotenuse, very, very high chance we are using the RHS test to do it. So RHS means there will be two types. Right angle. You must definitely have the hypotenuse. And then you can choose any side that you want. It can be maybe the side that is here or the side that is here. So this is how a RHS test is being used when you see these kind of shapes. Once you're done, you can flip over. We're going to do the next one that is called similarity. Okay, I want to add one last one. There is this test called the SSA test. Remember just now I talked to you about the SSA test? So if you look it around, SSA is like ASS, okay? But that's that we don't put ASS because it's very crude. So we write it as SSA, okay? We don't write as ASS. So take note, whenever it's SSA or ASS, there's no such thing. Why? It is not sufficient to prove congruency. Now, why is it not sufficient to prove congruency? Okay. I'll draw out and show it to you guys. So I have, let's say for example, one side here, 6, 11, and angle here, 30, right? Now I cannot prove that they are congruent. Why? Because, let's say I still stay as 11, I still stay as 30 right here. Can you see that as long as I extend this, means anybody on the dotted line can be 30 degrees. Means here also can be 30 at 30 degrees, here also can be at 30 degrees, correct? And then, do you all remember this concept about your compass? So if I put a compass here and I want to measure the 6, this is my 6 cm, right? I actually technically can say that this whole thing means the line from here to here is also 6. The line to here is also 6. The line to here is also 6. Can you all see that? Right? So technically, can you see there will be 2 cutting points? Here also can be 6. So here also can be 6. Here also can be 6. And even though I draw 6, you see that now if you look at this triangle here, this is still 6, correct? Here 6. And I draw this out. It means that this is 30 degrees. And this is also 11, technically, right? But is this triangle exactly the same as this triangle? No. So that is the concept. So please take note that SSA, this particular test, you cannot use it to prove congruency. And how to remember? Just remember that SSA is like ASS. Okay? The moment you see these 3 alphabets, you know you cannot use it to prove congruency. Neither can you use it to do similarity. So usually, what are my 3 top favorite? I hardly use ASA, AAS, and SSA unless the question really give it and I had no choice. But my top 2 favorite tests is always SSS. I always fall back on SSS, SAS, and RHS. Understand? Then, unless I have no other choice, I realize that, oh my God, my top 3 favorite cannot be used. Then I will go to ASA, AAS, and SAA. But there's no such thing called SSA or ASS. Okay, so right now, we are done with congruent already. Okay, so congruent, later I'll give you some examples to practice, but I'm going to teach you guys similar next. So let's move on to similarity. So a heading is called similarity. Okay, now whenever it's similar, I always give a little bit of cheat code to my student. So the cheat code, right, in how to know it's similar, usually you have parallel lines. Usually you have parallel lines. These are cheat code to know that it's similar triangles. And then usually we'll fall back on these 4 shapes. Okay, so what are the 4 shapes? So parallel lines is here, parallel, 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 parallel. Parallel lines. So these are clues to tell you that it is similar triangles. And what are the different shapes? What shape do you think this one look like? The first one. So the first shape is a what, guys? Hourglass. So what is the next shape that looks like? It looks like a what? What does this shape look like? Mountain. What do you think the next shape looks like? A particular food that looks like that. A particular food that looks like this. Toblerone is this one. There's the mountain. Toblerone is a mountain. Toblerone came from a mountain. What food does this look like? Yes, pizza. And lastly, this one, not many people can identify. This look like a tooth, a Bugs Bunny tooth. The tooth shape. A Bugs Bunny tooth shape or vampire tooth. So these are the 4 different shapes for similar. Now, when it comes to similarity, please take note of the properties. That similar, it's same shape. It must be the same shape, but it is different size. So a lot of students forget, okay, they thought it's same size. Same size is congruent already. They are different size, but they must be the same shape. You must compare triangle with triangle. Can you compare triangle with rectangle for similarity? Yes or no, guys? Guys, yes or no? No, right? So same shape means triangle with triangle. So now, next we're going to do the different tests. So the different tests to prove that it is similar will be number 1, my favorite is the AA. AA, just like AA battery, we don't use AAA. AAA is the old syllabus. Okay, AA means you only need 2 angles to prove. And then we have the SSS. And lastly, the third one is SAS. So if you notice SSS and SAS, these two are similar to congruent. So it's similar to congruent, okay? AA means only 2 angles. 1 angle here, 1 angle here. Only 2 angles. Now, when it's SSS, even though it's similar to congruent, there's one particular part that is a little bit different. Is that we don't say the side of one triangle is exactly the same as the side of another triangle. Okay? Please take note, we use this thing called the proportion of length. And this is something that you learn in set 2. So proportion of length. So how is proportion of length being used? Very good, you remember. So let's say I have A, B, C, X, Y, Z. So I want y'all to do the color coding. Can you see here? AB will be over who? Very good. So can I say YX, people? Yes or no? Cannot. If I do A to B, means I must go from X to Y. And A to B is the same as what? If I use AC, means I need to use XZ. Or I can go the other way. I can use what else also? BC over YZ is equal to who? BC over YZ is equal to who? What else can I use? Hmm? Don't overthink. It's just very simple. Very good. One of the two, right? So which one do you want? Which one? Okay, you want the pink one. So you want to say AC over XZ also can. depending on the question. Depending on the question and what clue the question gives you, then you'll know which one to use. And lastly, when it comes to similar, we have one last formula that we will use. Is when we want to find things like area and volume, or what's another word for volume? What's another word for volume? Area can be surface area. What's another word for volume? What is related to volume? What other word that you learn in science that can be related to volume? Volume is related to mass. Good try, Alyssa. So when it's every time when it's area, we have this formula that we can use. We'll say that the length, the small shape over the length of the big shape, square it, will give me the area of the small over the area of the big. And then for volume, instead of square, what do you think we use? Yes, cube. Volume of small over volume of big. So please write down, L is referring to the length. And very, very important, the length must be what kind of length? Just now we learned already. What's the keyword? The length must be what kind of length? Huh? This one must be what kind of length? Guys, that's now you learned already. It's in the notes. What kind of length? What kind of length? You must use the what kind of length. Size C, what kind of length? Yes, very good. Corresponding. So you must use the corresponding length. The length that matches. You cannot use this rule, use some random length over another random length. It must be corresponding. Okay, so now for example 3, the very first clue, they give you that ABCD is a square. So you need to know the properties of a square. What are properties of a square? Right angle triangle. What? All sides are equal, yes. So what I'll do is I'll highlight, 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 and I put, can you see here, they already use one line here. So obviously, will I still use one line, the tiny lines? I will use how many lines? 2 tiny lines, 2 tiny lines, 2 tiny lines, 2 tiny lines. So all sides are equal. That's the first property of a square. We're talking about the sides. Now, what else? Got one more property of a square that you need to know. What's the next property of a square that you need to know? Length is the same as side. Very good. All angles are 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. So I put all the 90 degrees in. Now, right now, we'll continue reading. Okay, guys, look here, very important. Can you see there's an order? They say that I'm going from where to where? A to B, not A, B. So when they say A to B produce means I'm going from A to B, right? So the direction means I'm going from A to B. Produce means I continue extending the line that is moving from A to B. So E is the extended line of AB such that this person here and this person here are the same. So they already draw the starting line for you. So, guys, can you see here? They want you to show that ECB. So I roughly highlight ECB, and FAB. Okay? So right now, what I'll do is I will roughly draw out ECB as my draft triangle. So guys, if I draw this direction, means if I draw FAB, it must be same or not same. Must it be the same or not the same? Same, right? So I'll draw the same. So I'll fill in, this is E. E is here, C is here, and B is here. What else? So if I know that this ECB, that means that where do I put my F? Top, bottom, right, or bottom, left? So F will be here. Where do I put my A? A will be matching with C. And where do I put my B? So right now, I look at the question, what is given? So what is given already? If I look at the question, what is given? The one given is everything that is being highlighted. So any clues am I being given? A, B, F. Yes, correct. Angle ABF. What about angle ABF? Angle ABF is 90 degrees. Why? How come we know that it's 90 degrees? Very good. Properties of square. So you must state the reasoning. There is a properties of square. And then I must match with who? Because I'm proof that congruent, right? So if I already have ABF, means ABF must match with who? CBE. So I need to find a way to prove angle CBE, right? So how do I find angle CBE? Can I just write angle CBE is equal to 90? Cannot. Why cannot? Did the question say it's 90? So how can I go and find out it's 90? Very good. Angles on a straight line. So what do I do? What's the working? 180 minus 90 is equal to 90. That is the proper way. And then I write down what? What property angle of a straight line? What? Yes, adjacent angle on a what, guys? On a straight line. So with that, I can now then say that ABF, angle ABF is equal to angle CBE. Right? Okay, I've already done one. Any more that I can use? Any more that I can use? Okay, I need one side. So which side shall I use? Let me make this smaller because I'm running out of space. Okay, what do you say again? We can use which one? CB. You say use CB and AB. How to prove that CB is equal to AB? So CB is equal to AB because they are what? They are what of a square? I want everything property. No, what of a square? Length or what is the sides of a square? And now, some teachers are very particular. They want you to state the name of the square. So they are sides of which square? Huh? Yes, ABCD. So they are sides of square ABCD. So some teachers are very particular. Please be very careful. You need to be very, very clear when it comes to this. So I say that CB is equal to AB because they are sides of square ABCD. So any more, if I look at the question, any more or not? A, what? BE is equal to BF. So this, let's put 2 lines, is equal to this. And what's the reasoning? How do we know BE is equal to BF? How do we know, huh? Very good. Because the question gives you already, so that's right, given. So guys, what property is this? Or rather, what test is this? So the pole is congruent. What test is this? Why cannot use RHS? There's right angle what? There's right angle. How come cannot use RHS? Very good. It's the hypotenuse. So did the question give you the hypotenuse? Who is the hypotenuse for this case? Who is the hypotenuse for this case? CE and who? Did they give you these 2 clues? They didn't give you CE, they didn't give you AS, so can we use hypotenuse? So be very careful. Doesn't mean you see right angle means straight away RHS come to your mind. Understand? So you can see here is one side, one angle, one side. One side, one angle, one side. So now we got to say using what? SAS what? Test. We can now say that triangle ECB is congruent to triangle AFAB. Now, some other teachers, I think I used to have a student that write like that. This is the A, this is the S, and this is the S. But I do not know why the teacher don't allow. Your school teacher teach you all like that? To write the A, the S, the S? The Bodrick students? Because in the past, we used to teach like this, but then I do not know why the school don't allow, but they also never explain. So better not. Always follow the strictest teacher. Yes. Using what? Using SAS. So you need to have one more word called congruency. You cannot, then if it's similar, you need to put in similarity. Okay. Then we add in. We'll always follow the strictest teacher. So your teacher want congruency, then we add in that. Okay? Because too many schools have too many different rules already. So any more? So far everything about the same? The symbol, this is an official math symbol. She want you to spell out. Okay, then you follow them. Okay, but some school teacher allow. Then what about this one? Can you write or must spell out everything? Huh? ADJ, yes. Or must you spell out? Can write like that? Such an irony. Want you spell out congruency, but can write ADJ. Then you can write the symbol like that. Or must spell out. Can write like that, or must spell out. Oh dear, this is so confusing. Then how do you all know when to spell out, when to do the shortcut? Uh-huh. So confusing. How you all know when to use the shortcut, when to use the symbol? Yeah, I think you just follow and just spell out all the time. That's the safest. Okay, have you all copied everything? Now we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so right now over here, they say that ABCD is a parallelogram. So you must always read the question. So what is the properties of parallelogram? Who is parallel with who? So beside parallel, what else also that we can say about CB and DA? Besides that parallel, what else can we also say? There's one more. Besides saying that these two are parallel, we can say one more about CB and DA. What can we say about CB and DA besides that they are parallel? Yes, same length. So I also know that they are the same length. What else besides parallelogram? Any more? Any more? Guys, any more? I don't want you all to be copying. I want you all to answer. Any more? Huh? Yes, CD and BA. What can we say about CD and BA? Parallel. And what else? And same length. Now y'all can copy. What other clues do y'all have? That's not really going to help you in the question. And what else? AB is equal to 8 cm. So AB, I know that it's 8 cm. So from here, what can I say already? There's no O. There's no F. CD, yes. CD is 8 cm. Now, what other clues do you have? DE is to AE is 2 is to 3. So DE is right here. And AE is right here. So what does that mean? The DE is 2 units and the AE is 3 units. Therefore, I know which clue. I know that what? I know who? AD, yes. What about AD? Yes, it's 1 unit. If AD is 1 unit, that means that I know that CB, yeah, is also 1 unit. Okay, so we're gonna prove. So remember, guys, wherever we want to prove BCD is similar to EDF, what I told you guys? So you need to draw out the triangle BCF. So BCF will look something like that. We'll follow the shape of BCF. So if BCF is like that, I copy paste the same thing. So what alphabet will this be, everybody? What will I place here? D. What will I place here? F. And lastly, what will I place here? E. And what clues do I have? Any clues I have or not, people? And then I will highlight. So I know that I'm focusing on these two triangles. D, E, F. So what clues do I have? Huh, guys? What clues do I have? What? What clues do I have? BC is 1 unit. Is that all? Any more? What? CF, CFB, and EFD, Y. How come you know that these two are the same? Very good. So I'll start with that first because the length doesn't really help me. So I say angle what, guys? If I use BFC, I must use which one? So the letters must match. And what's the reasoning that both of them are the same? So I already use here and here. Vertically opposite angles. Now, remember what is my top favorite when it comes to similar triangles? What my top favorite test? AA, right? So do you realize I got one angle already? So I need to try and find one more angle. Is there any way I can find one more angle? To say that they are the same. So the top favorite is AA, right? So you see, I already have one angle. I just need one last angle. Any, you know. So angle BCF is equal to angle EDF. How come you know they are the same? What is the reasoning? Yes, good. Alternate angle. And wherever it's alternate angle, you need to state which line is parallel to which line. Because you know which line is parallel to which line. Which line is parallel to which line? BC is parallel to AE. And now from here, you can say using what? So Baudry student answer using what? Yes, similarity, because that's what your teacher wants. To add in the word similarity. Using AA similarity test, therefore I can say that. What can I say, people? Therefore, yes, just copy, paste, the end. Copy, paste, the end. Okay, so right now, let's move on to B. Now, B, they want you to find FC. Now, guys, can you see here? Can you see FC, guys? I already proved that they are similar, correct or not? And because I know that they are similar, I can say that what? Remember just now? I told you guys similar, we use what? Proportion of length. So what can we say already? That come on guys, proportion of length. What can we say now? That they want FC. FC over, nah. FC over, yes, FD, yeah. Continue. Equal to CB over DE, yes. And what clue do I have? I have clues for who? CB and DE. So I can now say that FC over FD is equal to, what is CB? 1 unit and DE is 2 units. So now I know that FC is actually how many units? FC is not 2 units. FC is how many units? 1 unit. FD is 2 units. And what clue do I have, people? I have one clue in the question. If I know that AB is equal to 8 cm, I can now say that what? If AB is 8 cm, I can say that AB is equal to 8 cm using what property? And therefore, I can say that who? But we want to link back to this person. But I cannot link back to this person yet. I need AB to link to somebody, then I can link to this. Parallelogram. What about a parallelogram? If you know 8 is equal to 8, using the parallelogram, what can you say? Yes, CD is also equal to 8 cm because they are the what? Huh? Sides of parallelogram who? Of parallelogram ABCD. So CD is equal to 8 cm, which is the sides of parallelogram ABCD. So therefore, what is CD made out of? If you look at the diagram, CD is made out of who, people? CF and FD will give me CD, right? And what is CF? Or rather FC? 1 unit. And what is FD? 2 units. So 1 unit and 2 units equal to CD. And what is CD? 8 cm. So I know that 3 units is equal to 8 cm. And therefore I can find 1 unit and FC. Isn't it 1 unit? Correct now, guys. And therefore that will give you the answer. The end. Okay? So that is how you do this kind of question. Alright. So right now, your homework, I want you guys to do question number 6, question number 8, question number 5, and question number 10. 5, 6, 8, 10. So do your homework 5, 6, 8, and 10. That will be your homework. And do not copy from the answer key because the way I teach is totally different from the answer key. If you copy the answer key, I will know.